Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to take the time to introduce our speaker tonight, Kim Adley. Just as the Allegheny, Monongahela, and Ohio rivers seamlessly converge to Point State Park, so have the three distinct career paths of Pittsburgh entrepreneur Kim Adley. Kim has spent a lifetime in education, engaging in education in others through her golden rule of teaching. Teach others the way you want to be taught. That personal mantra has been realized in all of her business endeavors by engaging others through experience. Kim holds a bachelor's of communication from Duquesne University and a master's of teaching from the University of Pittsburgh and is a PA certified teacher. After retiring from teaching to raise two sons, Kim created and became the sole proprietor of her 26-year professional storytelling business, Characters by Kim. Through that business, Kim had written curriculum, facilitated workshops, and had been a public speaker to both children and adults. She worked for WQED Multimedia Education Department for 8 years as a creative consultant and a program facilitator of the Early Literacy Outreach Program in Pittsburgh schools called Stories on the Move. But most recently, during the pandemic, Kim created a public cable television show called Big Ideas for Little People, a storytelling program that focuses on the difficult concepts for children during the pandemic, like social distancing and mindfulness. In addition to teaching storytelling, Kim engages her audience in her newest business, which is actually 11 years old. So this bio is a little outdated, but it's called Passport to Pittsburgh, a custom tour and event company for Pittsburgh and beyond. The company focuses on experience tours and events customized for group interest and desires and ability. Her personal guarantee for every tour is her trademark tourism trifecta: knowledge, fun, and experience. Guests taste, explore, and discover hidden gems, cultural treasures, and iconic attractions in a new way. The company just celebrated its 11th year anniversary and has experienced the most welcome resurge in local tourism. Through many entrepreneurial adventures over the past years, Kim's goal is to approach all aspects of life and work with grit and grace, just like her beloved city of Pittsburgh. She has faced loss and been challenged to overcome adversity. And the pandemic was a true test of her positive attitude and resilience. She hopes to be an example of grace for women and business owners, showing them that we must embrace change and allow for reinvention as circumstances dictate. Kim's favorite quote is "Carpe diem, seize the day." So I turn it over to you, but I don't know if you can tell, but your slides aren't up anymore.
I know, but I want to say a few words before the slides.
Okay.
The slides are they're just extra tonight, but hello, friends. Welcome and thank you so much for coming tonight when I know there is so much competition with the Olympics and the Super Bowl and life. So I appreciate you being here. And as always, I appreciate Jennifer for inviting me. I'm always kind of like, wow, oh, thank you. Overwhelmed that, you want to hear from me. My bio, while listening to that, I have done a lot of stuff. And today I just got back. I had an outing today to see Wicked. And it's truly under, in its most basic sense, about friendship. And I love that. So tonight, Jennifer asked me to talk to you about relationships, positive relationships, cultivating positive relationships in difficult times and during cancer. And first of all, I just want to, say, and I've thought about this and prepared for you tonight. I want to be as authentic and real as possible. I have never had cancer. I have had adversity in my life, but I have never had a diagnosis of cancer. So I speak to you from a different perspective. And when I was preparing this evening, I happened to be away at one of my best friend's house, and she is a cancer survivor and a double mastectomy and 9 years survivor. And so I interviewed her and I told her what my purpose was for you this evening. And she gave me a lot of great insight that I tried to incorporate in my presentation about how friends and relationships, positive relationships, helped her through her treatment and her recovery. So I also consulted my partner, my boyfriend, who is a neuropsychologist, and he also has counseled cancer patients, especially those with brain traumas. And he recommended a book for me to read prior to talking to you, which I'm going to recommend. And I have another one as well, Love, Medicine, and Miracles by Dr. Bernie Siegel, MD, who stresses the importance about positive relationships during cancer treatment and how it makes such a difference. So um, I have a lot of good friends in life too, who've gotten me through a lot of things. I don't have a lot of family actually here in Pittsburgh, but I do have a network of friends, and I call a lot of them my friends who are my family. And sometimes those are the people that we can call upon easier than we can our own family members. They have a little bit more of an objective approach and for other reasons too. So everyone's situation is personal. But I just wanted to say that in the beginning before I show you my beautiful, stellar um, slide presentation. So I'm glad you're all here. I hope you have, do you have something? Cup of tea? I'm not telling what's in mine. Okay. And let's try to get those up again. And I hope you're all doing well during this very cold snap that we're having. And oops, Jennifer, did I lose it?
No, you're right. It said you started screen sharing.
I know, but
Oh, yep. Okay, that's not your.
that's not what I wanted to share.
Yeah.
Okay, just 1 minute. It's not there now.
All right, let me try to share it for you.
Okay. I am so technically challenged. There it is. Yay! All right. Cultivating friends during cancer. How connection, support, and healing, resilience, and hope. And here's a great quote that I took from one of these books. Cancer changes many things, bodies, routines, and futures. But one of the most difficult changes, whoops,
Sorry.
one of the most difficult changes is the feeling of being alone. And today we're going to explore how friendships can become a powerful source of comfort, strength, and healing during cancer. This presentation is not about perfection, but about the importance of human connection, and not in big ways, but the importance of small acts of friendship and how they can make a difference. All right, next one.
It's, it's not advancing. There we go.
So all of the books and everything I've read, and I'm sure I'm not telling you anything that you don't know, as cancer feels isolating and overwhelming. And what the research says is that emotional and social support is, sometimes we put all of our eggs in one basket, that the chemical and the medical treatment is what we need, but it really has to be a balance of body and mind, and that the emotional support is as important as the medical treatment. And so where do we find that? Well, obviously family can do that, but sometimes we don't have that family network. And so friendships friendships become so important and provide comfort, strength, and normalcy. So, we're going to talk today a little bit about why friendship matters, how to cultivate them, and what the research says about staying connected during cancer. All right, so why does friendship matter? Main thing is it becomes emotional support. So sometimes, when you feel my friend told me how lonely she felt when she got her breast cancer diagnosis, and of course this overwhelming sense of fear that she had, and so she was almost afraid to tell people. But when she finally told a friend, she said it just changed everything because she had expressed it to someone, and that person provided a safe place for that information, and for her emotion, for her fear, for her sadness too that she had at the time. And without, offering too much advice, she said that friend just became a sounding board, a listening ear, and just said, I'm going to try and understand. I can't be in your shoes, but I'm here and I'm going to listen. And so that helped her and encouraged her. So sometimes when she said when she had this cancer, all she could think of herself was, I'm just I'm just a cancer patient. But it's important to maintain your identity beyond that. And so being with friends helps you do that. Emotional support. Okay, so then the other side of it is social support, and getting out and being with people other than just going to treatment. Um, and I talked once before to Jennifer's Happy Feet group about planning for fun and how important that is. That the only times you're going out is to just go for our treatment. We're going to a doctor's appointment, and we're just getting the essentials for food, and we're coming home, and we're not doing anything else um, to take your mind off of it. So socially, I know it's hard, and we're going to talk about the barriers to this. Um, it's so important to get out and be social. It lowers stress and anxiety, and we're going to talk about the direct correlation of what stress does to your body, your immune system, all of that. Also, being with other people helps improve your coping skills and the improvement of your immune system. That there's a direct research that says um, lowering stress boosts your immunity. And of course, what the basic thing there, increasing your quality of life. And certainly we want to try to do that uh, during difficult times. So I found this cool picture, all those pills we have to take, but then there's a heart in there, that friendship becomes a form of emotional medicine, right? Instead of that pill, instead of that whatever, a half an hour talking to a friend is better than any pill we can take sometimes. Somebody just giving us that hug is better than any medicine. So, really important friendship. Barriers to why it's difficult to make friends during difficult times and when you have cancer. And my friend Sherry said to me, it was so hard because I was sick. I had my my chemo, and then I felt sick, and I was tired, and I didn't want to get off the couch. And sometimes that cannot be overcome, but maybe the friend can come to you, you know. Also, there's a fear. I think I am guilty of this. I don't want to burden others when when I'm ill or when I need help. Um, it's so hard to ask. And sometimes a really good friend, people will always say to you, and I'm guilty of this with people, what do you need? Oh, please, just, I'll do anything. But, like, I don't want to say, well, I really need you to come over and clean my toilet. Or I really need just, my laundry folded. Or I just need some coffee cream. You don't want to ask. You don't want to burden people with what you think are mundane things, but you'd be surprised from my perspective as being also a good friend. I want to do those mundane things, and people do want to help. So there's the fear of asking and burdening others. Another thing that can be a barrier, of course, is the change in appearance. So if you're losing hair or other things that may be occurring, you just don't have the confidence, or you just don't want to go out or be in a group. So that might be holding you back. And then, of course, what a huge barrier, as I said, is not knowing what to say. There's always kind of an awkwardness. People don't know what to say. You say, "Oh, I was diagnosed with cancer," and have you? I'm sure you've probably run into this with people. They just go, they don't know what to say, and so they stay away instead of being placed in an awkward position with you. Then there's this communication barrier that's put up. And then, of course, you may be depressed or be anxious. I don't want to go out because I don't want to get sick, right? I don't want to be around people. I don't want to compromise my health. Um, and then you're just sad. So these are all really significant barriers that we have to find ways to overcome. So, how to do that? How to cultivate friendships. And cultivate is a word Jennifer and I bounced off each other. I like this word because cultivate always I think about a garden and growing things. And it's not a fast thing. It takes, planting seeds, it takes nurturing. Friendships are work, and you have to take care of them. You can't just put that cutting of that plant in the ground and let it go. It has to be taken care of and cultivated. So that's why I like this word. So the most important thing is communication, and to be open about your diagnosis and how you're feeling and what you need. And also, I love this word that I put in here, your boundaries. Boundaries are really important. So there you might have this super overzealous friend who wants to be in your face all the time helping you, but it's too much, right? So you have to just have to be so honest, like, hey, you know, thanks for calling, but you don't have to call every day, right? And then share honestly when possible. And then also, as I was saying, be specific in your requests for help. So someone says to you, what can I do? I really need you to pick up my son from school today. I'm not feeling well. I really need you. I need the vacuum run in my basement because my dog dumped something over. Uh, and it's a little thing, but we just need to be open about it and specific. And then accept that relationships may change. So you had a really good friend. You thought she was your best buddy, and then she can't handle it that you have cancer. She had someone in her family who had it, just upsets her, and now she's not your friend. This can happen. And so we have to be able to accept that sometimes relationships may change. Okay. Be open. All right, next way that we can cultivate friendships. After we're being open and staying connected. So this means let's email every day, or I have a good friend who um, sends text message every morning. And it's just like a little one liner, or it's a little GIF, or it's a little sticker. But every morning at the same time, she sends me a message. And it's not a lot, probably takes her like a minute, less than a minute, but it's comforting to me because I expect it and I know it's coming and I know she's thinking about me. And that's really the entire exchange all day. It's just one little message at 7:30. So a little short visit, there's the text messages or voice notes, but or a little short visit or a phone call just to check on you. And or sometimes talking is like too much and you don't really want to talk about it, rehash it all, but just come over and let's watch the Olympics. Let's watch. Oh, how about Bridgerton? You guys into Bridgerton? How about whatever? And then share maybe just a simple activity. Take a walk, get the movement in together. It doesn't have to be big to be meaningful between friends. That's important. All right, new friendships. So, how are we going to do this? Um, I put a couple of ideas here. So, support groups, and I know Jennifer has this wonderful group here, and you have 35 people here tonight. Oh, 40. Wow. How many of you like know each other and have met in person or talk or meet somewhere else beyond this Zoom group? Do you? I don't know. We'll talk about that after. Maybe we should set something up like the Happy Feet, I don't know, lunch or something, just so you all can meet in person. So because I that makes all the difference. When I saw people for years during COVID in little boxes, I don't know. Then I saw them in person and I went, "Oh my God, you're gorgeous out of that box." You know? So maybe I would like to, if you do get these people together, Jennifer, I want you to invite me and just get together for some coffee somewhere and just talk, just talk. And then, of course, I know that you're where you go for your treatments probably have lots of programs and support groups that you can participate in, but you probably want to just get the hell out of the hospital. You probably don't want to do anything there. So, but I know they're available. Um, Community organizations, this is where I am really going to give my pitch tonight. I think there is no better place to go in safety, comfort than your community library. I think the library is such a wonderful place. Of course, I'm a former school teacher and a professional storyteller, and I love books. But the library has really evolved into so much more these days. And they just have so much to offer. And you can go in with anonymity and you can, I'm just looking on my own library. I'm working with my local library on a tour this coming Friday. I live in Whitehall in the South Hills, and they partnered with my tour company, and we're doing a Valentine's Day tea tour. So, taking the group to the Johnston House for tea, but also to Sorgel's Orchards and, little shopping. And I have a lot of people who travel with me singly. Uh, and invariably, they have to sit together at tea. They will converse with each other. And I have so many people who have made friends on my bus, which makes me very happy because a lot of single ladies like to travel with me. So, but the community library, when I was looking at their list, I mean, book clubs, um, knitting group. Just bring your project and then just sit and chat. Um, chess. There was just about everything you could possibly imagine going on at the library, and they were free or nominal fee. And then it's the last one, the shared experience. Then when you're doing something, oh, there was a recipe club where they picked a recipe book, and then they all made one and brought it. Um, just cool stuff. These librarians are very creative thinkers. And I like it because you can pick and choose what you want to do, and you can go when you want, leave when you want, and there's some anonymity as well. But say you sit down next to someone and you've brought your crocheting and you just start chatting. It has great potential for making a new friend. And I think that's a wonderful thing. Next. Okay, the role of friends. So why is it important? Because unlike your mother or your sister or whatever, your husband or your wife, they will listen without trying to fix it. Uh, they will also help with daily tasks. And what my friends do, they provide laughter and distraction. That is so important when we're not feeling well. I cannot stress the importance of laughter and smiling. And friends do that for me. And they can provide a consistency of presence. So, like my friend who sends me the message every morning, it's a it's a very consistent comfort that I know wherever she is, she's thinking about me at 7:30, and that's a nice thing. Next. All right, so what once we do make this effort, and I'm not going to lie, it takes effort. It just doesn't happen that you make friends. You have to get yourself out there. You have to make a decision. I see my library has a crocheting group. I'm going to go. I like to crochet. It makes me feel calm. I'm going to go. I'm going to go do my crocheting there I'm just go for 20 minutes and see what it's like. You got to do it. And then the results, only what you put into it, what you cultivate, is what grows from it. An improved sense of emotional well-being. Just knowing that, there's someone you can talk to there who's listening with an objective ear. And then a reduced sense of loneliness. You're not don't have to be home alone or in this by yourself. And then on this leads to a sense of hope, a sense of motivation. So you're going to go back. You had a great time at that meeting. They meet every Tuesday in the morning or every Tuesday in the afternoon. Or there's a movie every Friday afternoon. And you don't have to talk to anybody. You just go but you're out and you're with people. And that's important. And then of course, all of that leads to this sense of well-being, this happy, this peace inside that helps you better cope with your treatment and the days you're not feeling well. You can seem to get through it a little better because you know you got a friend on your side. Okay? Next. And then not just there's a long-term impact as well. You might make a really dear friend during it. Someone who will have a great impact on your life. I have always said that, and when I've gone through some adverse times in my life, every single person who's come across my path, of course, I'm a spiritual person and Christian. I believe that God has put them there for a reason. And as it's turned out, they have made a difference. I've never seen it. Sometimes you don't see it right away, but I met that person there, and then that person turned up at another place to make a positive impact on me. And I've become a better friend with them. So a deeper relationship, a greater empathy and gratitude about the little things in life. I believe that gratitude is really an important thing, and writing down each day three things that you're grateful for. Uh, they can be silly little things, but it's just important to remember. As bad as it seems, there is something that is positive in each day. We just have to take the time to think about it. And then also continued support, even after your treatment, you know. And of course, here's my one of my most favorite words: resilience. It's kind of like my middle name. Like, put an obstacle in front of me and I'm going to figure out how to get around it. So when we have friends behind us, we have increased resilience to overcome obstacles. Okay. Oh, I love this. I love this picture I found. All these good words. I'm a wordy person. Mind, body, spirit, soul. We're not just one thing. You know, our body's sick, but it affects everything. It affects our mind, our spirit, and all those things, all those words lead into making a whole person. So the results, the evidence shows that a strong social support system is linked to lower depression rates. That's a good thing. Improved survival outcomes for cancer patients and a higher quality of life. Who doesn't want those three things? Lower depression, improved survival outcomes, and higher quality of life. And the loneliness increases risk of poor health outcome. When you're lonely, it said increases a risk of poor health outcomes. So being alone going through what you're going through, it's not helping. You need a support system. So um, next slide. So the main takeaways that I want to just make sure that are very important is that friendship is part of the healing process. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, you're my best buddy. Small connections matter. And that cultivation of friendship requires openness and connection. And that when it comes right down to it, this is the most important thing. No one should face cancer alone. Next. A quote: friendship does not cure cancer, but it sure can heal loneliness, fear, and despair. And in conclusion, my friends, cancer affects everything, not just your body, but your mind and your heart. And so that picture there, oh, that was like some really cool graphic that shows the combination of mind, heart, and body all together. And friendship brings comfort and strength. And by nurturing relationships, your healing becomes more possible. And that's what we want. Research. This is not all just what I think. This is based in research. Look at some of these things that I found in a 2010 journal. People with strong social relationships had a 50% increased likelihood of survival compared to those with weak social ties. The American Cancer Society says social support reduces depression, anxiety, and improves quality of life in cancer patients. And the National Cancer Institute: emotional support helps patients cope better with treatment and reduces distress. The Journal of Clinical Oncology: Cancer patients with higher social support report better mental health and treatment adherence. And the CDC, loneliness is linked to higher inflammation and a weak immune response. Cancer is a journey that no one should have to take alone. And while medicine treats the body, friendship heals the heart. And by cultivating relationships, patients gain not only support, but hope, courage, and a reminder that you are deeply valued. Yes, you are. And in times of illness, friendship becomes one of the most powerful and important forms of your care treatment. So that's the end. That's the end of that, the slides.